National Center of Health Statistics shows that 70 to 90% of divorces are initiated by the women. Reality is that women begin the process of leaving years before they tell their husband that they want a divorce. And by the time that they tell the husband, they've already moved on. They've made the decision. They've accepted that the marriage is over. In other words, them telling you now is merely a formality. But what makes a woman want to leave a marriage? Why such a large discrepancy? And why don't men leave? Marriage counselors and coaches, we all have an opinion as to why women leave. And while some of them are great, there's really no scientific data supporting the why. But there is. In today's video, I'll be addressing the top 3 theories women leave the relationship much faster than men. And stay to the end here because it may just help you cope through the pain. These are some unique reasons and not necessarily ones that I would have picked. So keep an open mind here. I'm holding off any opinion in the video till the end because, well, things need to change. And when I say that, I'm referring to you, not them. So here are 3 reasons why sociologists believe women are the first to leave the marriage. Let's start revving that engine. Conventional wisdom, they think as the men, well, we're the players, right? The women, they're the sensible ones. They're the center of the family, the core, the seed, the nurture. But there is a serious disconnect here because our divorce rate is over 50% and typically they're initiated by the female. The thing is, this information, it's not new. It's been around for nearly 2 centuries, not decades, centuries. Census data from 1825 to 1866, it showed that even then, 60% of the divorces, they came from the women. 1825, man. I didn't even speak English back then. I wasn't born. Nearly 200 years have passed since the initial survey was given. In a 2017 study, it showed similar numbers with 69% of the women wanting to call it quits on the marriage. A subgroup, it showed that women with a bachelor's degree or higher, that they were at the highest risk to want a divorce. 90% of them wanted a divorce. Gents, if there's a divorce, if the female has a degree, 9 out of 10 times, she wanted it. Theoretically, you have better odds of staying married if your wife is a stripper without a degree than if she went to Harvard. I didn't believe it, but the hard truth is that anecdotally, that seems about right. When I was single, it was always, I left him because he was a narcissist. But what's really going on to make women want to leave? Pew Research has shown that when it comes to traits that society values the most in men, 35% of the women, they said that physical attractiveness was valued the most. 33% of the men said that honesty and morals were valued the most. My own experience showed that men, they think in terms of it's good enough, while women, they think by comparison. So if you're actively dating, go out and ask a girl if she was the one that left the marriage. Find out yourself. This data, it comes from Social Networks of the Life Course, which was a series of books in the field of sociology. These writers, now they're on top of their game and they take a scientific and pragmatic view of why women leave. The chapter reads like a sociologist was right. Long, confusing, boring. And as you'll see, it talks out of both sides of their mouths. And I'll leave the link to the chapter in the description section, and just in case you want to learn more. So the first reason why women want out, according to sociologists, is because they tend to be more sensitive to relationship issues. What does that mean? Well, a female would explain it as that they care more about things, while a male, they would say, girl just doesn't pick her battles. My first wife. Boo, how does this suit with a 3/4 length sleeve look on me? Isn't it so cute? I don't like it. Why? I don't know. I just don't like how it looks on you. You need to be more specific. Look, I'm not good at this. I just don't like it. You look better with long sleeves than that kind of cut. What do you mean? Tell me, seriously, tell me. Why don't you like it? You can't just tell me you don't like it without any kind of explanation here. Just let it go. No, Renee, I won't. All right. Okay, because you're 4 foot 11 inches tall, 3/4 length sleeves. They're reserved for tall and slim people. This only breaks down your body into different segments and makes you look like you're not only overweight but also horizontally challenged. That's why. No, of course I didn't say that, but that was an actual fight, and I folded like the cheap suit I was wearing. As men, we try to avoid confrontation. To men, avoiding confrontation is often more important than a good sex life. Also, you never know who you could end pissing off. I mean, we could get our asses kicked, and me personally, I'm a bleeder, so I try to avoid it when I can. Perhaps you've been there where you see a couple going and they see a completely different couple fighting, And then all of a sudden, the female from the first couple gets involved. So that's what being more sensitive to relationship issues means, that they care more about everything. Second reason why women leave is, well, the feminist movement. Now, this one, it gets picked up a lot by men, blaming the system, but there's a certain point here to be made. For instance, despite women climbing the corporate ladder, they're still the ones that are doing the majority of the housework. From buying furniture, cleaning house, preparing the meals, doing laundry, washing dishes, caring for the kids. And us guys, for the most part, we lag in that department. You're a single dad now. I'm sure that you've seen your young ones. They're going throughout the house. They're leaving crap everywhere and an empty bottle in the corner. And you think, this fucker, he doesn't see it? It's been there for 3 days and he doesn't pick it up. Why? So you call and you yell at your kiddo as to why they don't pick up the bottle. And when they say that they didn't see it, let's face it, it sounds like we did when we were married. We didn't see it back then. So imagine this. It's the year 2000 and young Cindy, she's 7 years old, and she says to her dad, Daddy, when I grow up, I want to be a nurse. Dad, he says, hon, that's great, but why not be a doctor instead? Nothing wrong with nurses, but I want you to grow up to be a strong, intelligent, independent woman. And times have changed. And actually, there are more women graduating from medical school today than men are. Before I forget, this example is also going to come in handy for the third reason why women leave. So hopefully you pay attention. Cindy, she grows up with an egalitarian school of thought. When she goes to Harvard and becomes, well, a pediatrician, she marries Dr. Joe B. Slaps, who's a renowned neurosurgeon who perfected the Ludovico technique. What movie is that from? Ludovico technique. Put it in the comments section. One of my favorite movies. Now, he loves Cindy, but Cindy, well, she takes a back seat to her husband and he furthers his careers. And Cindy finds herself that she's taking a back seat to his career and cleaning up his freaking mess. I mean, the dude's name is Dr. Slaps, for Christ's sakes. She didn't sign up for this. As time goes, she begins resenting her husband. She didn't grow up to pick up after a guy. And because women are more sensitive to relationship issues, the fighting it begins. And she begins to think that she married a child. So Cindy, being a college graduate from Harvard, well, there's a 90% chance that she's gonna leave her fancy pants of a husband, and she does. Because she makes $250K and he nearly $700K a year, the assets are split. He pays alimony and child support, but everything being relative, the financial hit is not that severe. Now, before blaming this feminist movement, I wouldn't be so quick to do so. See, I have one of the fastest divorced men's group on Facebook, and I took a non-scientific poll where, guess what? The worst profession to marry amongst newly divorced men, being a housewife. Those guys, they get hosed for the most part. And I'm gonna go out on a limb here, but a housewife for today, well, you can't compare them to a housewife back in the 1950s. Today, chances are that you marry a housewife, you're going to be doing the same amount of cleaning that if you married a career woman. I married one, and that ship, it didn't run so smoothly. I'm here, aren't I? Plus, I wouldn't be much of a dad to my children because, well, I needed permission for everything. And I mean everything. They have a system. Also, in the end, I got hoes paying an exponential amount of pre-tax money and alimony and child support until she found a job and the judge lowered it. Moral of the story is, don't be so quick to judge. By the way, 2 things. If you're watching this, chances are that it's not my charm keeping you here, but the subject matter at hand. Why not join our Facebook group? It's free and it's confidential. While at it, consider the subject at hand. Chances are that if you're going through a divorce, you didn't want it. Your life, it's going to change, so it's normal to feel scared, hurt, angry, depressed, feeling like you gotta both a prostate exam and a vasectomy without anesthesia at the same time. Yikes. I'm a divorce coach and I've worked with nearly 1,000 divorcing men to help them kick ass and thrive in a post-divorce world. This is your second chance, so to speak, so don't fuck it up by bitterness, depression, or by having others tell you how to live your life. Don't go through this shit alone. If this video helped you even a little bit, imagine how much better you're gonna feel with a one-on-one. So make a free one-on-one with me. You're going to walk out feeling a hell of a lot better than you did walking in. First one free and completely confidential. Make your call today, right now, ASAP, because I tell you this, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think that I was the best. I take a no-nonsense approach attitude to help develop the post-divorce male. So grow them testicles again by clicking on the link to both join our Facebook group and schedule your one-on-one with me. The link is both in the comment section and in the description section. But don't do this alone. You have way too much at stake and way too much to lose here. So schedule a call today. The third reason why females leave, according to sociologists, is because of what they call the power differential. Now, I'm not so sure how I feel about this one because it talks out of both sides of their mouths. It's like a paradox. According to this theory, the partner with the better prospect beyond the current relationship, they're more likely to want to break up. Now, if this isn't your first rodeo with the Renaissance channel, you'll know that I've spoken ad nauseum about how much older men, they have the upper hand in dating and relationships. And this is no different in the paper. This paper addresses how men have the power in the relationship because, well, they have more prospects. So, why do women leave, you might ask? Because they want to be heard, free, and not live under the shadow of their husband. That's why the female decides to leave the relationship. When you think about it, it does make some sense. Women, they want an adventure. Often they feel trapped as they live in their quiet desperation, bored, unheard. So they decide to leave it. And I'm curious what you think about this one. Have any of you dated someone that decided to leave their spouse because they wanted to find themselves? I've worked with a lot of men who have, and often this is a very sad situation because the female, she doesn't just get up and leave. They usually start by telling their husband something like they want an adventure with Jimmy or Sharon or down the street. The husband, he clearly objects, and 10 out of 10 times when the female says that she wants an adventure, she misspoke. She actually meant more like she had an adventure. Then she proceeds to both divorce and sue his ass for half his assets because it's expensive to find themselves, and hey, she deserves it, doesn't she? Twisted because the husband, he had every opportunity to do something about this, but sadly, they married the wrong person. Truth being, there are many reasons why women, they leave men, and I try to be fair here, but there's no denying that these experts, that they took a very pragmatic approach in the paper. To me, there's a complete double standard here because where the fuck is the accountability factor here? Earlier I said that men, they think in terms of it's good enough, while women, they die by comparison. Women are also more prone to want to leave because, well, they believe that they can do better. Men, they typically stay, only leave when it becomes unbearable. Couple that with the court system that is extremely unfair to the divorcing man, and you have a recipe for disaster here. Or how about the horniness factor? Cindy jumping on Chad's bones while the husband is out there taking care of the kids. What gets me here is the unfairness of it all. I think that as men, we don't leave because we devalue ourselves and we become a bunch of pussies. Fact is that women leave us because they know we won't. We're too lazy to fix our life. We're so dumb we ignore the sign that she's been checked out for a while. Don't let that become you. Fact is that in divorce or breakup, you want to come out on top, that you want to win. You want to win? Let me help you. Let's work together. Let's make you such a badass that when it's all said and done with, you're going to be glad that it happened. You'll come to realize that she should have never been playing in the same league that you're in, and that a year from now, that the only feeling that you're going to have towards your ex is love for her as the baby's mother and pity that she made the monumental mistake of leaving your ass. Thank you very much.
I'ma wake up, do damage. Join them 7 boredom. Working all night.